Hello there folks, RJB from RJB TV, and you return yet again to see me cast this Gensay against Byul best of 41 set where we've so far had 24 games out of the 42 games for what is going to be a 41 game best of set where there are currently 23 wins divided over Byul and Gensay, with 13 wins for Byul and 9 wins for Gensay, which means we've had 22 games. Wait. I just messed up there with the introduction, didn't I? Anyway, that aside, we're at game number 24. One game was a draw, got scrapped from the drawing board. So let's dive straight on, head in to this very first game of the day, where we have a Protoss against Zerg with Byul on the Protoss and Gensay on the Zerg. And yeah, as we've seen so far in the previous videos, with Gensay, you never know what he's going to do. Sometimes you think you know what he's going to do, because he starts off with a seemingly normal build order, and then he switches over into something that is absolutely bonkers. So bonkers that most of the times it doesn't really seem to work out against Byul, because Byul is better at micro and has more restraint. Byul plays more standard and held back, controlled, so to speak. Whereas Gensay, as I said before, he plays bonkers. He plays cheese, a lot of cheese, and he plays weird all-in strategies that most of the time are pretty damn good and effective. But against Byul, hasn't really had amazing results yet. And I hope Gensay is going for more standard build orders instead of going for the crazy build orders. But he's in for some tough luck, some tough love, because Byul here starts off with 2 gateways in his choke. He's gonna go for... This is kind of a play on the mid-gate rush build order. And he might add gateway number 3 right there as well. Maybe go for pylon first, not quite sure. Some players go for pylon, gateway, gateway, pylon, gateway. Some others go for pylon, gateway, 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 pylon. And he's one of the few players who goes for triple gateway before the second pylon. And I just lost connection with Battle.net. So I am gonna have to relog after this replay ends. Quite inconvenient, but that is just the way it is. Now he hasn't found him yet, and it looks like Gensay has found Byul. And Byul, I think, saw that Overlord as well. Which means that now Byul is gonna start traveling towards this hatchery in the front. All on the way, they're almost finished up. He's saving up a larva for 6 Zerglings. And the Zealots are soon to be on the way. And Gensay is in for a rude awakening, because Byul is very strong at mid-gate Protoss. In this case, it's a choke gate Protoss, but the concept is the exact same. He's rushing with Zealots, and probes are in the mix as well. He needs to get those drones up into the front and get Zerglings finished up and protect that choke. But that's going to be very difficult to do, because Byul is already here and the creep colony has not yet been started. This is looking grim for Gensay. Although the Zerglings do come in, they get a great surround there on... They don't get a surround, the probes prevent the surround. More Zealots are walking through, creep colony on the way. There's simply too many Zealots. The probes are adding 8 damage every single time they attack. They do 4 damage each. And Byul is already won with a very simple but very precise and well executed mid-gate rush build order. And now time to log back in after I update the score. We got 14 wins for Byul. The first game was kind of uneventful, but this happens a lot. Happens a lot that a mid-gate rushing Protoss just walks all over a Zerg within the first 3 to 4 to 5 minutes. It's so strong if you just get a little bit of leverage over that Zerg. I'm logging back into my account. Just give me a second. I don't know why I lost connection with Battle.net, but it kicked me out. So let's just jump right back in and load up the second replay. Score currently 9 wins for Gensay, and a whole lot more wins for Byul, who's sitting at 14 His win lead has grown to 5 wins over Gensay. Can Gensay make a comeback? Because I think the halfway point to 41 is 21, at least. If you want to win a best of 41, you have to win 21 games out of the 41. If you're at 20-20, it's 40, it's a tie. Okay, let's hop back into the game. We've got Gensay here on the white Protoss, and we've got Byul here on the brown Terran, and we're in a cross-map situation again. We've seen a lot of cross-map spawn situations with Protoss against Terran, where Byul is the Terran and Gensay the Protoss. And so far, it pretty much always worked out in Terran's favor quite amazingly well. There's just so much traveling distance across the map that by the time you arrive with your attack, the Terran either has prepared well enough or has over-prepared. Rarely at this level of play is a Terran unprepared for a Protoss attack in a cross-map situation. There's just so much extra time to travel across the map. So much extra time to prepare, so much extra time to have more units, more turrets, more whatever. So I've got high hopes for Byul this game, but I really want to see Gensay pull off yet again another win, because he's really deserving of a win as long as he plays a little bit more standard, a little bit less of that crazy, risky, very difficult to pull off build orders. It seemed to be mostly reliant on trickery, mechanical trickery, multitasking trickery, and perhaps some surprises of having the opponent not expecting that you're pulling some tricks. Byul going for double factory build order yet again. I am convinced that on a corner spawn, a double factory build order is definitely the very strongest because of the added traveling distance to a corner. You are more likely to have all your defensive structures and units ready by the time units come in for a rush. Now Gensay is not rushing, which of course is even better for a factory first build order from Byul. Because there is a small time window at about 5 to 7 minutes where a factory opening Terran is a little bit weaker than a Protoss. There's also a time window at about 9 to 11 minutes, I think, where a Protoss usually is a little bit stronger than the meching Terran. And around those time frames, Terran that started with mech usually is a little bit stronger. Really, the only player I've seen consistently beating these absolute top level Terrans is, I think it's 458. And probably Brain as well. I think those are the only two players I've seen consistently win at least more than half of their games against these very high level Terran players. Against Byul, against Gensay himself, against Brain, Shin, Mong. Usually 458 manages to pull it off. And the one thing 458 really plays is standard build orders. I wouldn't call this a standard build order, but this is something I've seen Brain and Voss and even 458 do. They go for a weak choke in the front, and then they go for Dragoons right after. Now Dragoons are kind of the thing you gotta build against a Terran that is going for Vultures, because Dragoons hard counter the Vultures until the Vultures have mines, and the mines have been laid all over the place. But the Dragoons kind of weaken the effect Vultures have, because Dragoons are impossible to micro against with the Vultures. It's easy to micro against the Zealots, but the Dragoons also take less damage from the Vultures. The Vultures, their damage type, concussive, doesn't do that much damage against a Dragoon, and maybe if he has more Dragoons, we can see the amount of damage he deals to the Dragoons. It's not much, barely any damage at all. The shields go down fast, but the HP goes down much slower. Mine there on the middle. Dragoon walks right in, guy dies, The tanks are on the counter push. Byul knows exactly what to do. Has to force those Dragoons and Zealots away. We've got more Dragoons finishing up there for Gensay. He's got a Robo on the way. Support base well in the back. Dragoon range almost finished up. Got a Robo here on the side, hidden away, out of sight, out of scannable range. He's going to go for a Shuttle Reaver from this one, and hopefully fly in without Byul knowing it's coming, without Byul being able to scan for it, because he's going to scan the base here and maybe assume that Gensay is not as well progressed in his tech tree, with his technology, with his drops, as he in reality actually is. You got Dragoons on the sides to intercept tank drops and dropships. Reaver there on the way from the side. You got an observatory there in the back being built for Gensay. He's going for observers to clear out the middle to kill those mines. Byul going for Goliath with Karen boosters to take those shuttles out of the air. Now the one thing is that he has to really be good at target firing every single shuttle individually as they come flying in. And the one difficult thing I believe about Goliaths is you have to place them in a really good position to be able to walk in both directions in time to snipe those shuttles. Going for raids is a little bit easier, they're faster, they're easier to micro. Going for Valkyries later on is also easier than Goliaths in my opinion. But Goliaths are also an amazing option as long as you have great map awareness and great awareness of the minimap and some extra vision that allows you to respond to things from a further away distance than usually. Lies over the middle, see the mines. Well, the mines see the shuttle, actually. Not the other way around. The mines see the shuttle, which means Byul knows to relocate to the bottom side there to intercept that shuttle. Shuttle flies into a vulture even, which means more information for Byul there. Kills the vulture with the Reaver. It's going to fly back around and wait for more shuttles, or maybe try to take down the front, or maybe just fly over the hill to look for a weak point. There's somewhat of a weak point right here, but there's tanks sieged up on the northern side, the front side, and the west, east, and southern side of the base. So pretty much all of the unloadable areas in Byul's base are covered by at least one siege tank. And there's Goliath, of course, as well, to kill the shuttles themselves. We got upgrades on the way there for Gensay. He's going for Zealot speed. Getting a Stargate for Corsairs to help those shuttles fly in. He's got 4 robots there in the front. He's going to go for very heavy and intense shuttle dropping strategies. Gensay is actually playing closer to standard than in every single other game he's played so far. And I really think Gensay's standard, basic, like the basic strategies, the standard strategies, the proven meta strategies, I think Gensay is one of the very best at those strategies, but he hasn't really used them that much in this series so far. He's chosen less conventional methods of warfare so far. And yeah, I just wish he would do more conventional stuff, more standard stuff. Because I think he's better than Byul at the standard stuff than Byul is himself. Now goes in over the front, goes to unload over the front, tries to break through the frontal wall there with Reavers killing the tanks behind the wall, succeeds in killing a couple of tanks, kills one more there, but the tanks in the end do take down the Reavers, and I don't think he killed enough, but at least he's killing the choke. He's gonna kill the supply depots, the turret, the engineering bay there that was flying there in the front, sitting there in the front, and he's not gonna supply block Byul, but it's gonna inconvenience Byul a little bit. But Byul has enough units to not really have to be worried. This is not a cause for concern. He's still in a position where he does not have to deliberate the potential of future trouble yet. He's still comfortable, growing richer. He's on double command center, which I should have mentioned way earlier. You know, getting command center number 3. Instead of going for triple command center, he now has only 2, which means he's lower on SCVs compared to Gensay, but he's getting there slowly but surely. Reavers unloading on the bottom corner, forced to unload because too many turrets and no Corsairs there to assist. Takes down 1 tank and nothing else. Goliaths and tanks really proving their worth. Gensay has great tank layout all across his base, a lot of turrets, a lot of floating structures as well. Gensay is... Byul is playing this one really nice. And Gensay might come into some troublesome waters when Byul becomes a little bit too big for him, to handle. A little bit too big for him to take on. So 73 probes. Well, I should start using my mouse. Yep, I'm using my mouse now. I haven't touched my mouse for the past 10 minutes. Okay, he comes in to the bottom right. There's too many shuttles to intercept, so one course gets taken down. The shuttles are now loading here right next to the command center. There's Reavers as Templars storming on top of the SCVs. SCVs are splitting up, kills about 6 or 7. Reavers having trouble shooting because they're getting clipped into by SCVs, which stops them from firing. And drop doesn't kill as much as I thought it would, or as it should have. He found the proxy robot there on the side. And the drop didn't kill as much as it should have, but it did kill something. I think 8 or 10 SCVs went down. It does slow Byul down a little bit. And that's all that really matters, slowing him down. Like, Gensay wants to snowball relatively to Byul. Wants to snowball ahead of him and stay in the lead. And losing any SCVs, losing any economy, losing any mineral mining time, it all works out in Gensay's favor. But Byul is still in a phase where he's growing pretty damn fast. He's pretty damn well secured. More Stargates are on the way from Gensay. I don't see a mind control coming out yet for him. He's finally getting gateway unit upgrades as well. Getting Cybercore number 2 for air armor or air weapons. I don't see an Arbiter Tribunal yet, so I don't think he's gonna go for the mind control this time. I think he might go for carriers instead with the double Cybercore, which usually does mean we're gonna be seeing... Oh, he goes in for a drop on the front side. Let's quickly switch over. Unloading on top of all those tanks, losing a lot of tanks there. But did he kill enough of them? I don't think so. He did kill a bunch, but not enough. So now the Vultures are cleaning up those tanks. Another drop there comes in over the top side while he's being distracted by the fight in the front, but the shuttle still goes down before it arrives there on the SCV, so once again, doesn't really do a lot of damage, and Byul here is tired of sitting around and waiting after Gensay lost that huge army without really killing that much. I think he killed 6-7 tanks, a couple of Vultures, and maybe 2 or 3 Goliaths. Definitely not enough, and it cost him a lot of supply, so now Byul, using this moment, feels that he's got the chance to go for the attack, but Gensay almost back on maxed out supply, but most of his units are still inside the gateways. This is going to be really close. This is going to be close and tricky. This is going to be difficult to pull off. Of course, they're scouting ahead, sees the massive army that Byul has sent across the map. A drop comes in. Templar arrives, Templar storms, Templar hits, Templar kills a lot. It went down from 64 to 42, maybe 62. Not sure, but he lost about 20, and that is a big hit. And now he's getting surrounded here in the middle of the map, losing his entire army. Reavers cleaning up almost everything, and flanking from the other side are Dragoons and Zealots. So a beautiful setup there from Gensay, saves his base, destroys the economy, largely. And now Byul is forced to go on the defensive. He's in some big trouble. He's got some tanks there that are buying him time, mines in between, Observer on the scene. Dragoons pushing through and pulling through the mines, so the tanks are in danger of going down, but the tanks here are retreating back home, and he's gonna have to build a frontal wall very quick if he doesn't want Gensay to break through into his base and bring him into some real trouble, because the supply is almost half. A drop there coming in from the bottom right. He lost most of his Goliaths in that attack, so he doesn't really have a lot to defend himself with except these 5 raids. But those 5 raids might not be able to take down all of those shuttles. He unloads in the bottom corner, instead of going all the way for the minerals, going to go for the turrets and the supply depots. And now going for a frontal attack as well, although it's a small attack, it's mostly the Vultures that are going to go down. He's got Observers on the scene to detect those mines. Things are looking fine for Gensay here, things are looking bad for Byul. But Byul is recovering his economy with his triple command center production. But Zealots are coming through the front door and killing his tanks, he's losing units. And when your economy isn't too well off, losing units is dangerous, because you will not be able to replace those units fast enough to keep up with the Protoss. But the Protoss is coming from across the map, though. The Protoss is coming from across the map, but coming from across the map takes a lot of time. Look at these speedy boys running across the map. He scanned them, he knows they are coming. He saw no shuttle, so nothing to worry about for now to be coming from the air on the sides. But it takes so long for these Zealots to go all the way across and arrive here on destination to pick a fight with Byul, who's forced to defend. Now back on 61 SCVs. He's recovering, he's doing fine. Also rebuilding those turrets here on the bottom corner. Yeah, Byul survived. Byul is fine for now. With 1-2 upgrades on the tanks. No air upgrades because he only has 2 armories. Lost 1 armory right here that was getting air attack upgrades. So the air attack upgrades got slowed down. We're getting more Stargates. We might see Corsairs. We might see carriers. Also getting a really big Reaver drop. I think Byul is no longer making raids. So he has to rely on these 8 raids to take down the shuttles. And he finds the shuttles with some really good scanning work. Saw them leave the base. We're just gonna hunt them down by kind of guessing where they should be based on the trajectory that they took as they left the base. He's gonna try to kill more of them because only 1 cannon there in the front. He saw there's only 1 cannon. Only 1 cannon, of course, means he can be more aggressive. And now Byul has recovered his economy. And instead of waiting any longer to secure his base from offensive attacks, he's just gonna go right in. Because the best defense is offense. And what some professional sports teams say, if you want to defend your base, if you want to defend your goal, attack. Be aggressive. Keep the enemy away from your goal. Keep the enemy away from scoring points. And that's what Byul is doing. He's bringing the fight to Gensay's side of the map. He's not gonna let Gensay comfortably attack all the time. Raids there took down the cannon, took down the shuttles. They've done their job. They've done their job splendidly well. Here in the middle, Byul is winning the fight. Gensay is losing the fight. He's got 1-1-2 upgrades there for his gateway units. The upgrades are really good for both players, honestly. 2-3 there for Byul on the tanks. Templars tried to storm as much as they could, but Byul dodged a lot of the storms. This observer on the minimap keeps tricking me into thinking there's a shuttle inside of Byul's base. And the raids are in the air. No Dragoons, but the Corsairs there appear on the scene and the raids get taken down. They killed 2 Reavers, I believe. Once again, more storms coming down there on the tanks. This one has energy, but forgot to storm. Gensay is not panicking, honestly. Sends out a shuttle drop there. He just killed the raids. There's no anti-shuttle here in the base. There's nothing in the back either. This drop is going to hit him hard. It's 2 Reavers, and there's 2 mines there as well. Fight happening on the middle, getting surrounded. He unloads away from the mines, and now he's going to kill the SCVs. Gets one side, gets the other side. He's down to 18 SCVs. Byul has finally made a really big mistake, and I think this also solidifies that Byul is definitely not stream sniping. Otherwise, he would have dodged that, he would have prepared for that, and he didn't. He got caught off guard completely at the worst time possible. Army on the middle, supply below 100 against a Gensay that is maxed out pretty much all the time. This is the worst case scenario for Byul so far in this game. In most games, actually. This is the worst case scenario Byul has been in for a long time. Except, of course, for the games he lost, because in that case, losing is the absolute worst case scenario. But this looks pretty close to losing. If Gensay can keep up the pressure and snowball into a bigger lead over Byul, I don't see Byul recovering from this one. But Byul is already setting things into motion. Putting those mines on the middle. Find some Dark Templars. He scanned on the middle to see what's there. Gonna place those mines everywhere. Sure, they're on the way, going cross-map. Does he have Goliaths? Yes, he has. But the drop comes in over the bottom side, undetected, doesn't know it's happening. Once again, storms on the SCVs and kills the remaining SCVs on the minerals. Now he's down to 17. Byul is getting blasted out of the water. Oh no, don't siege up! Oh no, he kills 2 more of his own SCVs with the siege up. Oh, not a drop, but it's empty. Now a fight here happening on the top side. He unloaded right there and he's attacking in the front. Dragoons, though, have to pull back because the vultures are in between the Dragoons and the tanks. And the tanks are ultimately the purpose, the goal that he wants to kill. But if there's vultures in between, he can't get to them. There's mines as well. There's an observer here in the back, no observer in the front, so he cannot detect the mines. So smart move to pull back and not waste those Dragoons. Reavers have arrived on the scene as well. Gensay now starting a proxy base for gateways. He's not yet going for carriers. I think carriers would be an amazing switch up, but he doesn't have enough gas to build carriers. Even though he's mining from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gas in total. Might have to mine from 8 if he wants to go for carriers. He's now sacking some of his probes to to open up supply space. Maybe not yet the best choice because he's kind of low on minerals comparatively to the point you usually want to throw probes away at. I think 74 probes is a perfectly healthy point to be at. Also do note, Byul's army is pretty big. He's on 160 supply on 34 SCVs. He didn't pull SCVs off the gas because he still needs gas income to produce tanks, which are ultimately the very best unit against what Gensay has. Now, oh, Templars everywhere. Templars are getting sniped by the Vultures so they don't storm on the large bulk of very clumped up tanks. It could have been very ugly. If those storms had landed and killed those tanks, this game would now be over with that frontal force coming in and breaking through with only a couple of tanks, Vultures and Goliaths left to fight against. He's now almost on maxed out upgrades, 2 armor, 1 shield, 3 weapon. He's got more Corsairs on the way, still no carriers, getting a recall for Arbiters. He does have a fleet beacon, probably for disruption web. And of course carrier capacity, and carriers themselves maybe as well. Starts building cannons on the middle. He is taking some pressure off the lid. He's dialing down on his aggression for now. He's setting up the middle of the map, setting up the sides, setting up his base. Just the finishing touches to try and triumph over Byul. Byul, back on 52 SCVs, feels he is rich enough because he's maxed out, goes for yet another attack. He's not gonna sit around and wait and let Gensay comfortably grow even bigger than before. He finds the raids. Observer on the scene is gonna help him out killing the raids. Oh, the raid's getting ass blasted really hard, almost all dead and gone. Those upgrades on the Corsairs are 1-1. Byul almost has level... Byul didn't start level 3 armor for his tanks yet because he cannot afford it. Not a dropper on the bottom side, gonna fly in over this. Well, Byul knows it's coming because he's scanned ahead and he has some vision there as well. Templar unloads, Templar tries to storm on the raids, misses the storm on the raids. No Templar unloads here. Oh, there's a tank gonna shoot on the... Yes, oh, he unsieges just in time. Unsieges just in time. Byul won the fighter on the middle, killed the Dragoons, killed the tanks. Not a drop there. Not a drop there. It's Corsairs. Not a drop there. Heal. Okay, so here's a drop. Here are the Corsairs. Corsairs scanning ahead, scouting ahead. Looking for the raids to kill them. Doesn't find them, but he does get some valuable information on Byul moving out into the middle. His Dark Templars are in the front, completely obliterating his army. He has double scan, but he used all of his scans except that one, so he uses that for the Dark Templars. No! He scanned the front, so now the Dark Templars are actually killing his... Oh, what a massive mistake there from Byul. Byul lost a lot more than he should have. I think he lost about 10 tanks and vultures in total. Pretty massive hit. That's going to slow down his attack. Also, killing the turrets are on the top side to buy himself some time and distract him. Once again, observers spreading out across the map. Byul there placing mines in this pathway. It's going to be difficult for the Dragoons to move forward and kill the tanks. The tanks are set up pretty well. Snipes the shuttle out of the air. He tried to unload Zealous on top of those tanks. This proxy base, there are 5 gateways. Hasn't progressed too much. Arbiter's finished up there in the back. Rebuilding his army as fast as he can. He got 75 SCVs now there on the minerals. Keeps sending units across the map. This time around, Templars on the high ground, Storms on the low ground. Tanks have nowhere to go. Easy to hit them. And the Templars are more difficult to take down than before. Look at how many of those Vulture shots are missing on the High Templar. This is the highest High Templar on the high ground. And he's as high as he's ever been. High and dry. He's got the high ground. He asked Byul not to do it. Byul went for it. And Byul paid the price for losing most of his army. Not a drop there coming in. Almost missed it. It's a Templar. Gonna get killed there by the raids. Doesn't storm on the raids. Turret there on the corner once again goes down. Byul hasn't built a single structure in the last 10 minutes. He just decided to attack and never ever built a single structure ever again. His raids are still unupgraded. You kidding me? Reavers have arrived on the scene. Byul is not noticing it. Please notice me, senpai. Reavers on the scene, gonna kill a couple of supply depots, gonna get taken out by the raids. It's a little bit of extra damage piling up on all of the other damage he's been dealing so far. Finds the... I think he saw the gateways. Dark Templars flanking from the side, unloads on top of the tanks, storming the tanks. Beautiful, beautiful map clearing here. But I do think Byul should survive this one. Just, well, maybe the observers and the reinforcements do sway that fight into Gensay's favor. Drop comes in, Drop gets sniped. Corsair's not attacking yet. Trying to attack, but oh, cloaks up. And does some cute little micro dancing to finish off those Corsairs. So Byul is rebuilding his army. He has 5 machine shops, and the rest is all for Vultures and Goliath. So far, the Vulture-Goliath tank mix has been doing a great job of keeping Gensay, well, I wouldn't say out of his base, but at least keeping the game in somewhat of a stalemate where neither player is yet the victor, despite Byul taking massive amounts of damage more than once. He's been close to being broken a couple of times. Okay, now it's gonna get interesting though, because we have Arbiters. Does not get spotted out by the Vulture. Let's hope it doesn't get spotted out by this Vulture either. Soon there finishes off the Vulture. Got some Vultures there attacking the proxy base, laying some mines as well. There's some mines here placed on the side, just in case. Shuttles are coming in, trying to unload their units on top of those tanks. Doesn't really quite succeed. I think one Zealot unloaded, and then the Goliaths and Raids took everything down before it could really do much damage yet again. So 80 probes, 80 SCVs, 68 probes. Economy slightly in favor of Byul, the 12 worker advantage. Once again goes in with shuttles. Doesn't, yes, he goes in. Gonna try to unload on top of, but cannot unload on top of the tanks. Arbiters are there on the side, waiting for a recall opportunity. Byul is turtling up this time around. He's turtling up. He's finally decided to start fortifying his base and to finish his base. 17 minutes after he decided not to finish his base. Okay, Byul is scanning the map aggressively. Scan the entire sides. First scan the bottom side, then scan the top side. Saw the Arbiters. Arbiters were running away to safety. Still scanning for them. He missed his scan. Can't find the Arbiters. Arbiters have changed direction. They might fly in over the front because he is seeing Byul leaving his base. Recalls inside the base while most of the units are away from home, and he's progressing forward. He's got double loss. Well, one Arbiter still alive on the top side. So now we're in pretty... Oh, he at stasis on the SCV, so he cannot... Well, he still has SCVs to repair the CC, though. But the CC is gonna go down because Byul started repairing way too late. Oh no, Byul, you could have repaired that one, but you lost it. So that recall there, with a little dancing back and forth, it paid off. But the raids in the stasis as well. Beautifully done. And he's still killing things here in the back. That was not a big recall, but a small recall perfectly timed with the information from the observers that were seeing the army leaving. Gensay's got some smart tricks and moves up his sleeve that he hasn't been allowed to use because not a single game has gone on for as long as this one. He's been doing a great job of pushing Byul back home every single time Byul attacks. Byul, though, he's pretty rich, but his income is also pretty low. With pretty low SCV count. Very big army, though. A very big bank as well. And Gensay decides to throw away 24 more probes. And goes for another recall here on the side of Byul's base, while Byul's army is yet again away from home. And now he's going to kill the turrets on the side that Byul just built. He just built all of those. Units coming from the northern side. He might send those zealots into the backside. One zealot goes into the backside there. The other zealots are just killing structures as they see fit. Byul at the same time going for the frontal attack there on Gensay's base. It's a large army. Storms coming down on the front line there. Stasis in the backside. Not sure if that stasis is actually that great. But at least it does take out 5 tanks, 1 Vulture, 1 Goliath from dealing damage to his zealots. And he's broken through the entire front line, throwing down more scans because the scans really do make a big difference. I think Gensay might have thrown away a couple too many of his pros because the economy just shrunk from 12,000 to 7,000. But now he's got a huge army and he goes for a flank attack on the units that are in the front. We've got more units from Byul there entering the middle. He ran out of gas. He ran out of gas. And he didn't put new units or SCVs on the refineries. And he might not even have the time to put new units on the refineries because he's in constant battle here on the middle. He's got to focus on this micro battle. He's not allowed to put SCVs back on the minerals. This might have pushed Byul to the edge, and now he's falling off. Gensay's finally got a pretty good push and leverage over Byul, but he decides to pull back into the middle and wait for a little bit, which might... Oh, the Dark Templars are not getting scanned. The Dark Templars are killing units. He's pulling a mine in as well. Finally throws on a scan. Dragoon's buying a little bit more time. Recall in the back. Is this going to be the finishing blow? Recalls right there. Starts like Templars, Zealots, and Dragoons. No High Templars. But Zealots and Dragoons and Dark Templars should do the trick. Goes for the scans. Trying to try to take down the scans before all the Dark Templars are killed by the scans. Killed 1 scan, killed 2 scan. Now going for number 3. There's no vessels in the base. The Dark Templars are going to absolutely wreck phase. Oh, this is a race against the clock. And this chase down here into the corner is insane. We've got more units there scooting across the map, ready to enter the front door. The front door is now pretty poorly defended. No vessels, no scans. Dark Templars are absolutely destroying. How many kills do these Dark Templars have? Oh, he kills the Dark Templar because he now has vessels in the back. Finally, the vessels came from all the way across the map, try and defend the home base. Gensay is pushing through. He does have a lot of tanks in the back, Alliance as well, but the army of Gensay is massive. He's got more coming across the map. Gensay might have done it. I haven't seen Byul lose a lot of late game Terran against Protoss, because his Terran against Protoss, as we saw so far in every single game, is really strong. But now, this time around, Gensay has once again managed to succeed. Dragoons in the top that are bugging out on hold position, a little bit unlucky because they could have killed a couple of tanks there. But it doesn't really matter. We've got more units coming from across the map, ready to absolutely storm and overpower his opponent. Defensive medics on the tank in the front. High Templars walking forward, storming on the tanks. Tanks have nowhere to go, and the tanks, oh, they do largely go down. That might have just done the job. Another Arbiter is 3 Arbiters, not 1, not 2, is 3. Is a triple entendre, and he goes into the backside, stasis on the vessels and the tanks, and he goes for a recall on the SCVs, and it's not a recall, it's just sitting there comfortably. Another stasis being thrown on the tanks. Byul has units, but the units he has cannot participate in the fight. They're just forced to watch their home burn down as more Dragoons coming in, more Zealots coming in with the slashy squishy blades, tearing the house down. This is pure torture. Facilitated by Gensay in this beautiful Protoss against Terran. 33 minutes long, officially the longest game so far over the past 24 games. Beautifully played. Really dominant performance at the end. He really earned himself that win. In a cross-map Protoss against Terran, usually favored for the Terran at this very high level of StarCraft fastest map play. So let's go to another game. Let's do one more. Or 2 more. I need more drinks, to be honest, if we want to do 2 more, but let's do 2 more. Let's see where this all takes us. Ah, delicious. Okay. Game number 26, or win number 25. Score 10 wins for Gensay, 14 wins for Byul. Byul here on the olive green Terran, Gensay on the yellow Protoss. Wait, it's again a Terran against Protoss. Okay, but they didn't switch races this time around. This is hype. I like where this is going. I like where this is going. So, right now, we're looking at Byul going for a standard build order with barracks first. He's not going to go for factories. And we see Gensay going for gateway after 7-9 pylon. And there comes gateway number 2. He's scouting the wrong way though, but Gensay is out for blood. He's out for early game rushing strategies. Screw the standard build orders. I just want to go hard and I want to fight. I want to go in punching, guns blazing, blasting all over the place. No unsafe. At least, not Byul, but not this Terran on the 5 o'clock bottom corner. He's gonna find him here though. At least I hope so. I've seen players make some pretty massive scouting mistakes by not going in far enough with that probe. And yes, that is what she said as well. Okay, he finds him. Command center coming in. Command center probably not a great choice here. Not against his triple gateway build order. But Byul is probably assuming, incorrectly assuming, that Gensay is going for a Nexus first himself, or that his double barracks is going to be enough to defend against any of the aggression that Gensay has prepared for him. 2 Zealots there already coming across the map. We've got a couple of Marines already finished up there for Byul. It's 3 Marines. Probe gets taken down. He's going to build an academy now as well. He's got Gasser on the way. Zealot there and waiting in the top corner. Waiting for its friends. Maybe waiting for a surround on the Marines. Maybe waiting for the Marines to leave the safety of this small little compact building area. Byul walks in, sees the Zealots leaving the base, sees the triple gateway, and now this might tip him off that he might be in some minor trouble, or perhaps some major trouble. Zealots there, ready to go in. Marines, though, do form a pretty strong ball, keeping those Zealots away, but now they've gone too far, and the SCV is blocking the Marine. The SCV is helping him out. The SCV actually the MVP, because that SCV just killed a lot of Marines by being in the wrong place at the wrong time. That SCV is a traitor. That just turned the fight. It just removed Byul's micro with the Marines from the map. And now there's 2 Marines, 2 Zealots, and some SCVs. Make it 3, make it 4, make it 5. Zealots there, wreaking house, absolutely destroying face. Humanity is not safe. Humanity is gonna call GG and move on to the next game. This is unrecoverable. This is over. Oh, so unfortunate for Byul to lose to that SCV screwing his micro. This micro here is cool though, putting the Marine right there in between. But yeah, that's GG. Byul loses 2 Terran against Protoss in a row. One was a long, hard-fought game, and the other was a very fast belly flop that failed, and Gensay just took him down really quick, really easily. Probably the easiest game for Gensay so far in this best of 41. Easiest game of his life. Okay. Gensay against Byul. We're going right back in for yet another one. I think this time around we do have a race swap. I think it's gonna be Byul on the... No, it's Byul on the Terran yet again. I saw that wrong. So now they're just playing Protoss against Terran, time and time again. No more of that Zerg. Just two players playing on their strongest races respectively. Byul on the Terran, Gensay on his Protoss. Gensay's Protoss is allegedly his best. Byul's Terran is definitely his best, without a doubt. So what does Gensay, this player right here, have in store for his Terran opponent today in this match? What is he cooking? Is it spicy? Is it bitter? Is it sweet? Or is it none of the above? Okay, standard build order there from Byul. Not so much a standard build order from Gensay. Once again, switching things up, mixing it up, going for something different. It is the dreaded, dangerous, probably Dragoon build order. Can't confirm, can't deny, but that's what my gut feeling tells me. That's what my gut feeling tells me this is gonna be. Dragoons are on the menu. Four-legged, walking creatures of doom and destruction, reincarnated war heroes. At least, I think that is the lore that the Protoss tells about their Dragoons. They are reincarnated zealots, getting a second chance to serve the Empire, the Galactic Protoss Empire. I honestly don't know much about the lore itself. I think I once played a couple of campaign missions, but I've never played them again, or never continued or finished them. So I honestly don't really know what the story is about for StarCraft. Yeah, I've just always played online. Always played against other people. Yeah, I think this might be Dragoons. It might be Dark Templars. It might be a Fast Reaver. With Gensay, you never know. But what I do know is he's got Cybercore on the way, no Forge, no extra Nexus. Gateway number 2 there, warping in. Zealot finished up, gonna walk across the map. And Byul is doing the exact same build order, but with a little bit less safety built into it by discontinuing Marine production, going for double command center. It's gonna be the triple combo, I guess. But here he sees that that might not be the wisest choice. Gonna change course, change direction. Gas are finished up, gonna start building bunkers in the front. He needs Academy to finish up as well and get himself Marine range, because that outranges the Dragoons. Or at least they have the same attack range as Dragoons if you put Marines with range into a bunker, which extends their range by yet again one more. Robo there gets spotted out. Double Dragoon defending the base. Not gonna go for the attack, I assume. Not really sure what his plan is, honestly. I still don't know what his plan is. He's getting a Forge now as well. Saw there running around. Did it get a kill? It got no kills. He's getting information. Sees the double command center. Sees the double barracks. Sees no factory. Sees no third barracks either. Sees no engineering bay. And I think that's going to give him some ideas of what to do next. Marine range are being upgraded. Got 2 bunkers in the front. 1 under construction. And Dragoons have to stay away because Dragoon range is not yet finished up. And I think it will somewhat match up with Marine range finishing up. Like a 5 to 10 second time difference. Got support beyond the way for very, very, very fast Reavers, I assume. And there's Nexus being warped in as well. Dragoons are going to stay there in the front to make sure that nothing leaves, that no counterattack is going to happen. Byul has a couple Marines and Medics, but a counterattack with this amount of Marines and Medics should not be possible, I assume. He's got a factory there on the way. Might go for a triple or double factory. Actually, those SCVs are intended to repair the bunkers. He's expecting a whole lot more Dragoons to walk over. But Gensay is actually playing it somewhat safe. Well, not safe, he's playing it not very aggressively. He really just wants to get this shuttle with the Reaver across the map and maybe break through the bunkers or flying over the side to hit the SCVs there in the back. Engineering bay on the way. He's going to need turrets soon for either Dark Templars or the shuttles. Both require turrets. He's getting 2 starports there on the side as well. The start of a supply depot wall on the bottom. He's be moving to the corners to build turrets. He knows, he saw the robo earlier with his SCV, so he knows that shuttles are definitely going to be coming in very soon. Siege mode and siege tank both on the way. Reaver with shuttle finished up, flying across the map. More dragoons there joining their brothers on the middle. He's building gateways on the middle. The first time this game that Gensay is building gateways on the middle to reduce the traveling distance towards his enemy. It's risky because if Byul decides to at some point break out, these gateways are going to go down first, and protecting them is going to be difficult. Oh, Marines on the chase, but no, he does have a scan. He has a scan, but decides against scanning on the high ground to finish it off. Probably already out of range. Can't really break through the front with the Reaver shuttle because the tank is sieged up. 8 gateways on the middle. He's on 37 probes in total. 2 groups, more Reavers being built. No shuttle there yet. Getting Tempa's archive. Can't quite get in. The raids find the shuttle. He saw the shuttle flying downwards. Reaver gets taken down by the tank. Tank gets the kill. Gonna finish up the wall turret in the front. Yeah, Byul is progressing really nicely with a lot of things happening at the same time. Everything happening with great precision and a great plan. Scans the backside because that's where all the structures will be built. Sees pretty much everything Gensay has. Observatory, Tempest Archive, already saw this. Already knew we had this. Saw this second Nexus, which he didn't know yet. And that's all the information he had. He didn't see those gateways there being built on the middle. Byul doesn't yet know this exists. And this might catch him off guard because he might not put a sufficient amount of units in the front. Because Gensay is going for a mass gateway attack mixed in with a shuttle drop either on the minerals or to help out break through the front. But I think Gensay is aiming to break through the front. Scans again. Sees the frontal portion. Sees pretty much nothing in the frontal portion though. There's almost nothing in the frontal portion, and that might tip him off on some things Gensay is up to. So a lot of gateways morphing in. Well, warping in, not morphing in, warping in. Zerg's morph, Protos's warp. So only double gasser in the back on triple factory, double starport. How many raids does he have across the map? I come 3, 4, 5. Got 2 more in production, getting cloak as well. Useful against dragoons that don't have detection, or corsairs that don't have detection. Both players are on similar worker amounts, although Byul with triple command center should be shooting ahead of him, although third Nexus also on the way for Gensay. Gensay is doing one of those typical non-dropping moments or phases where he stops dropping and just decides to build up and become really big. Observer that arrived on the front. So he's got information on what Byul is doing there in the front. Raids still flying back and forth, waiting for shuttles to arrive. Shuttles won't arrive anytime soon though. Moving to the middle. Really think he's going to attack the front of 146 supply against 139. Supply counts pretty close to each other. Panels being built on the sides to see units flying across. Gensay is up to something once again, and this time around it's building a big base as fast as he can, and hopefully faster than Byul can. Is it gonna work though? That I don't know, because we got command center number 4 there on the way in factory number 5. Supply count 148 against 141. The front there is somewhat well defended with triple bunker with 12 Marines. And a couple more outside. Level 1 attack finished up there. Not getting level 2 attack. Level 1 armor and attack for ground on the way. Not for air. Doesn't get armory number 2 and 4 yet. Usually gets them pretty early to get air upgrades as well. But he's not getting air upgrades at the moment. More scans came out there for Byul. Scans the base. He's more gateways being added on. Didn't really get too much information from this one. Still doesn't know of those gateways in the middle. Though those 4 or 6 gateways in the middle are they really that much of a problem? That's what I'm wondering about. So only one robot there for Gensay. Arbiter Tribunal there on the way. So that's going to be early Arbiters. And yeah, Gensay hasn't decided to attack over the past, I'd say, 4-5 minutes. Maybe 6 minutes even. Both players just comfortably building up on 75 workers each. Perfectly counted, although Byul still making SCVs. Might hit 80, still has 4 gas left to fill. I think we're going into the period of the game, the phase of the game, where Byul is gonna become a dangerous player, but Gensay, with as much production as he has right now, is also quite dangerous an opponent. Getting his proxy gateway base, he's got fleet beacon on the way, getting more cannons to protect his workers. Dropship is coming in though, and this dropship might kill probes. Probes are running away. Will they get far enough away? Yeah, they will. And they're hitting. Dragoon's gonna finish off that tank before it shoots all the probes. Yes, it goes down. Every single armor attack and shield upgrade is running for Gensay. Probes getting put back to work. He's mining from 8 simulators at the moment. Yeah, he's getting a pretty massive gateway proxy base. He's got gateways in the middle, proxy base right there. He's gonna build more cannons on the side, I assume, or just pylons with the probe. Finally got a big drop with a lot of hallucinations. Gonna fly in over the northern side, over the northern right side. Let's see if Byul is gonna defend against this one properly or not. We've got Marines are in between. Got a race there hunting down the hallucinated shuttles. The real shuttles are making their way all across. Storms on the SCVs and kills a lot of them. Byul was assuming he was gonna be fine, but no, he lost his SCVs. A very sloppy defense there from Byul. I mean, he played well with the Marines and raids, but couldn't take it all down because most of the shuttles were fake. He was oh, another storm comes down. Another yes. Oh, he dodged it. He dodged it. There's one more Templar inside the shuttle. Byul doesn't fall for Gensay's trickery. Not again. Not after losing his economy to his own sloppy awareness and play. So we've got 11 gateways right there. We've got 6 robots there in the front. Gotta build a couple more cannons because one got taken down by the tank. He's almost on level 222 for his gateway units. He's gonna go for a mass drop here because I see Archons mixed in, and usually Archons mixed into a unit army like this, it's gonna mean a mass drop aiming to kill the economy. Byul's economy is recovering though. 52 SCVs. Break. Oh, he's throwing away Marines. He needs supply space, and he sees cannons on the middle. Perfect timing. Let's take those down. But he's got Zealots and Dragoons there as well, ready to fight against the Marines with superior upgrades. 1-1 against 0-1. Marines getting absolutely just slaughtered. Pure slaughter. Poor Marines. Byul, please have a heart, have some compassion, have some empathy. Being a Marine that survives for too long is miserable in StarCraft, because at some point, the Terran is just gonna throw you away. It's gonna throw you away and replace you with some of that beefy, beautiful, mechanical armory. I'm not quite sure what to call it, but yeah, tanks. The beautiful bit of engineering. Another drop there coming across. There's some real shells in there. There's one. Wait, is he gonna go for a small drop? I thought it was gonna go for a mass drop, but it's a small one. He's gonna kill the right shuttles though. Oh, he's got the Valkyries on the scene. Unloads one Archon, 2 Archons. They're on the scene, ready to chase down those SCVs, but quite unsuccessfully. And now Byul has ramped up his anti-drop defense. He's got Valkyries, Wraiths, and Ghosts. Got lockdown researched already, ready to take down those shuttles with the lockdown, lock them into space prison, and then just, kill them. slowly or quickly, depending on what he's attacking them with. So yeah, Byul has gone into turtle mode. For the first time in any of his Terran games, he's finishing his base. He's building every single little bit of buildable space for the very first time. And he is not yet moving out. He's scanning the entire map. With every single scan he's got, scanned the middle, scanned the base, probably scanned here on the sides as well. He's scanned all over the place looking for information, seeing what Gensay is building, what Gensay has already built, and how to deal with it. But first, let's kill those bunkers and throw away those marines, replace them with tanks, and then attack into the middle and fight our way through this obstruction, this wall, this contain on the middle. He's going to build more cannons on the side. Got carriers on the way there for Gensay. And with all of this beefy walling going on in the middle, this contain, he should be able to transition into carriers quite comfortably. All he has to do is lose a couple of units and open up some supply space to have a bigger carrier army. Now, Byul gonna kill those pylons here. Nothing Gensay can do about that one, except send over some dragoons, but then he's got Cloak as well. He scanned the middle and saw the shuttle, so shuttles do get taken down. Finds a Proclear on the middle as well. Gonna fly over to the side and scout that, but there's cannons being built here already. So now Byul does have more information. Yeah, these two players really have these bursts of action, and then they kind of sit back. Doesn't happen often. I think this is one of the very first games where we have these longer breaks in between small bits of heavy action. And they're really just both waiting. Well, Byul is done with waiting. And Gensay is waiting for Byul to move forward. He wants to get the positional advantage, which at the moment he doesn't have. And he needs more supply space, definitely needs more supply space. So losing these units on the middle will definitely help him out. But for now, he is deciding against that. He's waiting for the tanks to leave. Is he? Honestly, not quite sure what his plan is at the moment, but he is throwing away more supply to have more carriers. He's got 6-7 carriers at the moment, 6 of them, not very strong overall, but against the limited amount of Goliaths, that's a pretty good amount of carriers, to be honest. And the Goliath's already dying to the cannons on the low ground there, so carriers splitting up. Kills one vessel, still gets EMP'd on the other carriers there though. There's no shield batteries on the map yet for Gensay. You really need some shield batteries here, bro. Bro, you need some shield batteries. Please, build them. Your carriers already burned through their HP, their shields. So please, shield batteries, bro. You are gonna need them. Also, ghosts. Moving forward, he's scanning where the cannons are. He's going to try to lock down the carriers as they move forward. He's cloaked the ghost, so Gensay doesn't know that ghosts are even here. Now we're going to see lockdowns happening. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How many of the carriers are stuck in the air? Now Valkyrie's moving forward, ready to kill those lockdown carriers. Situation looking pretty bad here for Gensay, losing most of his carrier supply. Got a lot more on the way there, though. He's going to go for a hallucinated drop as well. The Valkyries being here on the middle might actually allow that shuttle drop to go in all the way. But little surprise here for Gensay. Byul is rich. Rich. 20,000 minerals as a result of sitting back for about 5 minutes. And Gensay is low on minerals because he's continuously building and producing all the time. Ghosts, not going for the lockdown, drop, unload, it's a Dark Archon, goes for the recall, goes for the mind control. But did he actually succeed? Oh, he got the SCV. Okay. So we couldn't physically see the SCV because they were all stacked on top of each other, but he did get the mind-controlled SCV. Maybe here from the top corner, maybe here from the pile of SCVs. But I think he got one from the top corner there, underneath the production tab. He's killed the entire middle. Dark Temples are killing his units on the middle as payback, but the scans to prevent that from really happening too much. And now it's a race against the clock for Gensay and Byul. Byul has to break through his choke before the SCV finishes the command center and finishes the factories. So Gensay did go for mind control after all. Still no shield batteries anywhere to be seen. Lockdown on the carrier there. He's got Templars on the scene as well. Storms on the tanks. There's not a lot of tanks here, so he might be able to completely stop the push momentarily if he can kill those tanks. Stasis on the Valkyries. Protects the lockdown carrier. Now there's not a whole lot to fight into this air army. Does have the ghost there though. Gonna try to kill the ghost before the more ghosts get lockdowns on carriers. The ghosts are getting taken down. Byul not really responding to this all too well. Gets one more lockdown there though. Two more lockdowns. He's gonna get number 3, 4, 5, and 6. Carrier count is dropping quite quickly. A lot of lockdowns. Gensay couldn't take down the ghost fast enough. But I think he still has just enough carriers to defend himself with those 7 carriers. There's simply too few. Oh, raids are coming in. Raids are dying there though. Command center is finished up. More carriers are on the way. More carriers are on. Okay, this is important. This is important. Byul killed his own workers with the tanks that are in the back. And now he's going to try and get a massive army rolling. An army bigger than anything Gensay can deal with. He's already pushed through most of the front. Byul really is playing the long con, while the short con is going for the gamble to end this fast. It's a big gamble, but if it works out, it is going to be amazing. But so far, this army here got cleared out really fast. The carriers are too strong with their upgrades on level 333. And it's 3-3 on the ground there for Byul as well. More army coming across the map. I think Gensay's got this in the back. I think Gensay's got this. Let's start building already building factories, actually. Where did he build the barracks? Oh, they're on the side. He's going to build another command center and more supply depots. So we can start building those tanks. Gensay's going to have to be fast. He's burning through his money. Okay, build some new SCVs because he might realize here that this might become a rather long game. And there's not a lot of Goliaths here either. Oh, I feel so bad about this one. Not a lot of Goliaths here on the scene to fight back. Oh, he's got disruption webs on the Goliaths. This tank army is going to get shredded, torn down really fast. The mix of disruption web and carrier is just so strong. The only thing he's still missing is, shield batteries, but he might just do it without shield batteries. He's burning through this army. This army is dead and gone. He cleared that out without any issues whatsoever. A lot of raids here on the middle of the map, though. There's one observer, 2 observers. Arbitic is taken down by Goliath. He goes in, scans the observers, finds one. Does he find number 2 as well? One more observer being pulled in. The courses are killing the raids so fast. 2 groups, 24 raids, taken down with a blink of an eye. But now he's attacking his own carriers to kill the raids. He no longer has detection. Oh, but the raids, they killed so many carriers. But he still has enough of them. The raids get pulled into cannon detection range. Tanks pushing forward. Oh, Byul lost his gamble. The gamble worked out against him. Byul's gamble attempt failed. He tried to push through, but the disruption web carrier combination just ruined everything. Dark Templars in the front. He scans for the Dark Templars, but Byul's army has shrunk. Tanks are on the way in the corner. Siege mode as well. Gensay has... I think Byul is going to call GG. Byul simply does not have enough money. 38 SCVs. 2,000 minerals is pretty good. 2,000 minerals is pretty good, but it's not that much. He's now down to... he's down below 100 minerals. Killing his own SCVs might have backfired harder than he thought it would. In his mind, he was going to end the game before this was going to happen. But Gensay seemingly somewhat easily, with a very good unit combination, just managed to kill that Terran army and made it look easy. More Goliaths coming in to end the game. Oh, but the Corsairs with observers, the raids are just the worst possible unit you can possibly think of in this situation. Lockdowns coming down on an Arbiter. Not yet on the carriers. Carriers now falling victim to the lockdowns as well, but Byul calls GG. Gensay's done it. Byul doesn't have it in him. His army is too small, and Gensay's army is too big, and the tanks there definitively put this game into an indefinite stalemate that Byul just simply is no longer capable of winning. So we get win number 12 for Gensay, and Gensay is on the comeback. Byul had a 5-win lead, but it shrunk to a 2-game lead actually. So Gensay fighting back, punching hard, going toe to toe, and proving that his Protoss really is pretty damn strong. And I think he could have won this game even without needing the tanks. But the tanks and the mind control were ultimately decisive factors in Byul's decision making. Anyway, that's it for today. Pretty long cast yet again. It's like 70 minutes. All of these videos so far have been like an hour long, or maybe 70 minutes long. These have been pretty intense so far. And this is part number 6. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time for part number 7.